What's up, guys? Welcome to the You versus You podcast. I'm Bailey.
I pulled 405 pounds on deadlift 2 days ago.
This is 405 pounds on deadlift 2 days ago, aka
Lucas that pulled 405
aka
pounds on
Skinny Boy. Today we got a weekly recap. Today some interesting things. 2021. We spoke it out into the universe. 2021 is gonna be a big year for us. And it's happening. So we wanted to share it on the podcast. We wanted to, other than providing value to the universe / YouTube community, and to just put out content here with this podcast. Another thing we wanted to do is to also document our own journey and our own success, since we're both literally starting. When we started this, we were both basically starting like from ground zero, from like the learning phase and what we were both doing. Lucas was getting into a whole new niche, day trading, learning, and although I was familiar with the real estate, investing, wholesaling, finance, I just started my own company, and so that's a whole nother ballgame on its own, going from a salesperson to owning a company and training people and setting systems and planning and all that good stuff. So we also wanted this to be a form of documentation. So that's what today's going to be about. Today we're going to kind of do a weekly recap, but kind of like, I don't want to recap the month of December, but I want to recap the changes, and you know what I'm talking about, like the recent big changes that have happened for both of us. So it'll probably be a little more than last week, but it'll probably be a little further back than a week, but you know what I mean, when we started experiencing those changes. You could even talk about
Why are you being so mysterious right now?
Because I'm a mysterious man. I'm a man who drinks tea.
All right, Lolly.
Cheers to that.
Bully for you.
Bro,
you're laughing.
Because I was literally
You're
just
getting that
thinking,
rich person laugh
I
that you
was-
like make fun of.
That's true. When I think of that, I think of Russ's laugh when he goes, ha ha ha. Because I was literally thinking about that, like by myself too. And I was like, I hope he tells me bully for you again.
Bully for you, Mr. Shelby.
Oh, that's what we're doing.
Sorry.
That's what we're doing.
I had to get it down before my AA meeting after this. I think you had more than me, though.
Yeah, I did.
Should I pull up some more?
You want some Four Roses?
Yeah.
It's actually good. While Lucas is while I'm feeding into Lucas's alcoholic problem in his life, tea tea problem. I'll go ahead and start this off. So I think the last time that we did a monthly recap, I talked about how I started my own company, Hermes Cash Offer. If any of you know anybody looking to sell, wants to sell quick, wants to sell cash, Hermes Cash Offer, Instagram. I am Bailey Contreras on Instagram. My email is bailey@hermescashoffer.com.
Yeah. And if you're as you're watching this, there's actually a grenade.
And if you don't, we planted a grenade
in your ass.
in your ass cheeks.
Are you sure it's straight?
In your
I feel
ass
like
cheeks
I'm
when
like,
you were sleeping.
You look bigger than me.
Yeah, it's normal. That's real life.
Oh, yeah,
I don't get it. I don't get the problem.
You're leaning forward into the camera.
I'm like all flexing all hard.
All right. What was your mysterious weekly changes that you wanted to get into?
Just
So guys,
surgery.
we're actually both doing Forex now.
Yeah.
And if you want to go up.
My balls cringed when you said that. I don't know why.
Mine sucked into my stomach.
Yeah. Mine sucked in and came out of vagina. Oh, I'm a grown now.
Just kidding.
Just kidding, guys. Yeah, so last time, and also reach out to that email if you see any distressed properties in your area that look nasty, that look like they need some loving. Email me that address. You will get paid.
And if you're someone of my friends who lives in Pico Rivera, we got them motherfuckers everywhere, so.
Yeah, if you live in Pico Rivera, like as you're running for your life, like on the daily basis, just feel free to like look back and like look at some houses.
From the guy from East LA who got shot at playing basketball for no reason.
Yeah, East LA, you can't run from it. You just accept it. You just accept that shit. You're like, I ain't running.
Like, today was the day.
You're like, it is what it is. It is what it is, G. So, back when I started my company, I was cold calling. I talked about how I was training people, and I don't know if I talked about this last time, but I reached a point where, and my part-time job, which was funding that, actually, since the holidays are over, we're starting to cut back on hours. So, I'm going to have less funding. So what I'm doing is I started marketing in a more low budget way. However, it's caused me to get more creative. It's caused me to really raise my skill level, which is what entrepreneurs talk about this all the time. I know Andy Frisella talks about this all the time. When you start small, and Dean Graziosi has a book about this called The Underdog Advantage, something like that. When you start small and you start without all of these other benefits that most other people have, you are literally forced to be better than them. You're forced to be better than them in a way that isn't easy. In a way that the competition is probably solving that issue with money. You have to solve that issue with yourself, and in ways of being creative and marketing and sales and standing out in different ways like that. So, if you're in that position, understand that you are in a place of empowerment. Those people above you that don't have that issue, they can literally just look to their money or look to hire somebody to solve that issue. And they really don't have to build that skill set. And at the end of the day, the value that you get paid for is how good are you at something. You get paid in direct proportion to the value you provide. So you can either look at that as a disadvantage, or you can look at that as the stepping stool for you to eventually become a bad motherfucker. Anyway, so how I'm doing that is I started doing low budget stuff. So still implementing the skills that I do know, the sales part, cold calling, all of that. But the leads that I'm getting are now more local leads. I started driving for dollars, pulling small lists in my neighborhood, looking at free real estate websites that people with a distressed property looking to sell for sale by owner would post their properties on. Sending out cheap direct mail. I use the app Deal Machine. Most real estate wholesalers will be familiar with that. And it's been going really good so far. So for me what's interesting that happened to me was, as I was following up with a lot of my leads, and it took me 100, by the way, for you guys that care, because I know I was looking for this number. Typically when you're driving for dollars, the number per properties, the deal that you'll get per how many properties differs in your market and how much you spend and what exact marketing are you doing. Obviously, if you're mailing and you're waiting for inbound calls, that's going to take a little longer. I hate doing that. So I mail and I would cold call, and I'm cold calling these leads and I'm texting them. So the only things I'm paying for is Deal Machine and CallRail, and they're both like around $50 a month. And then it's like some cents to send the mailer and then some cents to skip trace them. And so with CallRail, that gives me a business number. So I'm able to call them and text them. And through Deal Machine, it's a CRM. I could hold all these leads. And through Deal Machine, I could send them a letter. So that's how I decided I was going to be really creative and really hit very specific people with specific properties, specific details of the property, like when was it built, when did they buy it. Those specific leads, I'm hitting them from the back, from the front, from the side. Why smile, Lucas? Why'd you lick your lips, bro? You just looked at me and licked your lips. Bro, give me that drink, bro. Anyway, I'm going to act like that didn't happen. I had a lead come in. Long story short, it's an older gentleman. He's been in the property for a long time, going through pre-foreclosure. His neighbors were actually starting to take advantage of him. Like they literally cut down. He explained that he had big trees in his backyard and would give his whole backyard some pretty cool privacy. And so like it was like his own like Drake's house. I know that Drake's house has like huge trees, and it's like his own little spot. No one could see in, and you can't see out. And his neighbors, and it's been like that for a long time. He explained, and he said that his neighbor came in and literally cut it down when his back was turned. His neighbor cut it down, and he heard the neighbor say, "Oh, what is he gonna do? He's old. He can't do anything. What is he gonna do to us?" So that's just an example of a few different ways this older man was literally being taken advantage of. He's sick. He's elderly. He's recovering, and when you're elderly, that takes longer. So it's really hard for him to move around. His property is probably junk everywhere because he can't really clean it up. He said that his car is like stuck in his garage because he can't like get up and fix the garage. And just getting up right now in general is hard for him. So, but the positive side of what's happening to him is COVID kind of postponed that the auction for the pre-foreclosure, so they can't really kick him out right now, or so he explained. So what we did offer him at first, and what he was open to before he got sick, was a cash offer. He wanted to sell and move. Right now, it's harder for him to move. So what I did was I said, before we even think about a cash offer, because again, I'm going in a situation like this looking to help. I'm thinking, how could I stand out? Any other investors going to try to sell him on a cash offer, going to try to say, oh, well, what if we could relocate you, blah, blah, blah. What would you do then? I'm coming in there understanding him and allowing him to see that I am asking him these questions so I can learn how I can better serve this guy. So he explained to me that obviously it'd be better for him to stay in the property. He'd like to not move. And he has that debt. He wants to be gone. And he was offered, another way he was bullied was he was actually offered a life trust deal. I don't know how those work, but it was the first time I heard of it. But supposedly a guy, I don't know if you know, but a guy came in and a guy offered him, basically he was going to buy the property for super cheap probably, and was going to allow the old man named Steven to stay in the house. And it was called a life trust. Have you heard of that? Supposedly the guy that offered him that is familiar with the guy that bullied Steven, that cut those trees in the back of his house. So Steven suspects that they were just effing with him the whole time, which sucks. But so now the Steven that I have today is a Steven that believed that he could get that deal. So now he believes that he can stay in the property, and that's best case scenario. So even though that's not super likely, that's what would best serve one of my potential clients, or even just help in general. So what I told him was, let me reach out for help. Let me see if there's someone I can find who can help us. And so what I did was I reached out to a few Facebook groups, creative finance groups. I got help from Pace Morby's creative finance group on Facebook. Awesome Facebook group. I reached out at 11 p.m. and I had multiple people reach out to me. So shout out Pace and you guys. I had a guy reach out named, I'm not gonna say his name, but I'll say his name after we get the deal done. But I had this guy reach out to me, and he's actually over here in LA, which is what I really liked. And he's super creative, he came up with a few ideas, different ways we can help Steven stay in the house. We could probably take down the property sub 2, pay off his debt. Sub 2 meaning we would become the bank for the property. We would pay off his debt, maybe even give Steven a little down payment, put some money in his pocket so he's comfortable, and either renovate the house and renovate the garage part of the property, because it's pretty roomy in there, and have Steven stay in the garage so he doesn't have to move, and have a brand new spot for him in the same exact house, and also would get his whole house renovated, and then rent out the actual living space in the house, and cash flow that. And so we would still win on that, and then Steven would stay in the property for as long as he wants or as long as he can. That, or switch it the other way, rent out the garage, or literally just give Steven a bigger down payment and allow him to move somewhere more comfortable, with less maintenance, because obviously he's in this bigger space and he can't handle it. Like he was stressed about not being able to take care of the house, people taking advantage of him in the neighborhood. So we've come up with options to best help this this person in a distressed situation. And whether or not this deal goes through, I think the biggest thing that I learned was I'm really good at what I'm doing. I'm really good at talking to someone who's distressed. I spoke to him for an hour about like religion and politics, which is like the one thing you're not supposed to talk to people about. But we were talking about religion and politics, and it got us closer. At the end of our call, he was like, "Give me your number in case I need to reach out to you." And so that's what you want. You want them to ask those things instead of you saying, "Oh, here's my number in case you want to reach out," or instead of you saying, "Oh, do you want to do business?" You want them to be wanting you at the end. So I realized that I'm good at that. And the only reason I'm good at that is because I genuinely cared about him on the phone. I genuinely asked him questions when we were talking about religion and politics, when we were talking about how those people were bullying him, when we were talking about, he knew that in the beginning, because that's what my cold caller, when I was cold calling, my guy brought him in for a cash offer. That's how he brought the lead inside of our system. And he knows that we asked him how much he would sell for, and he knows that it'll be easier for us to sell at a cash offer. So the fact that I was asking him, what's the best case scenario for you? How do you win out of this situation? I mean, I told him, I think the best thing for you would be to just win. Success would be the best revenge for all these guys that tried to take advantage of you. So what does that look like for you? And so he mentioned, he's a funny guy, so he mentioned some funny things like winning the lottery and stuff like that. But he told me his answer, which was not moving probably would be best. Obviously getting rid of the debt, some stuff like that. And now I'm coming up with answers like that. And I know that anybody else that would try to come to Steven when I'm not behind my back or anything like that, they're going to trip up on a bunch of grenades because of the rapport that I built with him, because of what we discussed at the end. I mentioned to him, "Oh, what if I'm doing this for you?" And before we talked and someone else comes in, blah, blah, I'm afraid that I'd be wasting my time. And he said, "Oh, no way. I'm going to save your number right now and blah, blah, blah. No one's going to blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to answer any other phone but yours." So I think the biggest things that I learned was, number one, when people say genuinely want to help people and they're talking about sales, it's not bullshit. This is a perfect example for anybody that needed one still, that when you genuinely come across as a problem solver, you are positioned as someone who's credible. When you are not attached to the deal, you are positioned as someone who's powerful. That's super important, especially when it comes to sales. And if this doesn't go through, now I have the knowledge that I can talk to someone who's super distressed, build that much rapport, not have to worry about, which in real estate, what almost everybody is worried about, competition. This is how I stand out. This is how everybody should stand out. Not only because it's good for business, but it's also good for your integrity. There's literally zero way that Steven would do business with me and not win. So that's Hermes cash offer, baby. So yeah, I'm going to follow up with him Monday evening with all the options I created with that creative finance guy. See if he wants to take some of the options. If not, I'm going to say, well, you know what? I'm glad I was able to give you your options. I hope you're stay safe and keep following up with him until he may or may not need my help, or until I find someone else who can help him, whether it was that Life Trust thing, which I never even heard of. But I have a feeling those guys are just messing with him, taking advantage.
I like how you said they were tripping over grenades.
Yes.
Like you didn't place them there.
I was like, Steven,
I'm going to be honest with you. I set a grenade on wire trip on my way in here on a bell, 12:15.
Cheers to that.
Volley for Steven.
He's like, I don't want a cash offer. But I want to win the lotto. Well, bullet for you.
Bully for you, Steven. Don't we all, Mr. Shelby?
I actually really like this one.
Which one is that? Four Roses?
Yeah. Didn't you get 4 roses too?
Yeah.
How do you like
I
it?
had wild turkey before that, huh?
Yeah. How do you like it? You still like it more than wild turkey?
Yeah.
I do too.
But
It's like, well, how would you describe the taste?
whiskey.
It is very whiskey.
I was gonna ask you a question, but you destroyed my train of thought.
Steven, this conversation about religion and politics. Let me ask you this. Would you fancy not being blown up because, well, you were talking to me about this bullshit Christianity?
You want to know why your garage door won't open?
I laced the whole thing with grenades. One step in your garage.
And you know what? I hired your neighbors to cut down the trees.
That's messed up.
I saw all the shade in the privacy. I said, we can't have none of that. So when you said like his garage is like really roomy, have you seen the property? Like have you been there?
No, I've seen pictures of the outside.
Knocked on that full door and was like,
Yeah, I've seen pictures of the outside, and I did research on the property, so I see the square footage and stuff like that. It's in Sacramento. It's in California. It's in Sacramento, and there's huge spread on this property. By the way, the ARV on this property is 300,000. The only debt he has is 60,000. And when he was open to a cash offer, he was open to one in between 150,000 and 200,000. And it doesn't need that much work. It needs maybe about like average for around 1,500 square feet. Average of that is probably like at most 30,000. Because he did do some work in the back. The inside's not that bad. So if you're someone that understands these numbers, you know that that's a deal. At the ballpark he's asking for is something that we probably could make work. So especially after negotiating that's a fat deal right there. But I didn't even talk about that because that wouldn't best serve his situation. And only after we present those options, only after that he knows that might not be the best solution for him, if that really is what he wants, he's going to ask me, how much would a cash offer be and help me move out of this place? What would I be able to do that? What do I need to do to get that from you guys? And that's what you want your customers to do. You want them to be begging for more. You want them to beg for more. Beg for mercy. Beg for mercy, baby. Sorry.
it's Mr. Shelby. He tied his shoes off.
Steven's like, I want to stay in the property. What is he doing? He grabs
You're
it.
acting like a fucking child. Mate.
Yeah, you're acting like a fucking child, mate.
Now go sit over there and act like a good little boy.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Fuck off.
So
Yeah, you see, you don't want to be where he's like, I don't want to cash offer anymore, and be like, oh, fuck off, Tom.
Fuck off, Tom. That's far too little. So that all happened like within this week?
Yeah, that actually. So
You were driving for dollars up in Sac?
What?
You were driving for
Oh
dollars
no!
up in
So
Sac?
yeah, that I got that lead when I still had people cold calling for me. Dude, it's still at full battery.
Damn, that fool's built different this week, I guess.
This was built. I know. Maybe those other batteries are just like
In 1
old or
minute.
something.
Well, it's one battery that you just recharge.
Oh.
Imagine like 1 minute it just dies. Goes down
Yeah,
to
dude, it's not
freaking
even like a little bit. It's at full.
bully for the
Full
camera.
power. Camera like, wow, bullet for you. And it shuts off. Yeah. So yeah, you were paying attention. So obviously I'm driving for dollars. We're over here in Pico/Whittier.
Fool, don't drop that Addy like that.
Bro, we
Come to
already
the penthouse.
Pico/Whittier/ well, they already know. They just gotta look for the biggest building in this mother, and then just
True.
be like, oh, they filming
The
up
only
there.
skyscraper within
Yeah,
a
and
5 mile
they
radius.
see smoke coming out and be like, oh, that's you versus you up there, baby.
In every episode, like they build another floor because like we just keep going up, you know.
Yeah,
we can't stay
I
on the
mean,
same floor
well,
forever.
Yeah, because they know we're part of Forex and we're only going up, so they know that. So we need room to keep going up,
Yeah.
obviously.
And we can't fly. We're not like Superman.
No.
Yet. Once we hit chairman, we will be there.
Yeah.
Anyways,
You're just dumb, bro.
these are just jokes to all our Forex friends.
What I was saying was, yeah. So
What
that
is
lead,
that?
that lead came in. Sorry, children. That lead came in from
What do you mean?
a.
That's just a basketball play.
You remember when he did that?
Yes.
I remember when he was
What
like,
is it called? Shocker?
"Don't." Yeah. He's like, "Do not tell your mothers." Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember at games he was like afraid to do it. Like he was like, dude, that was one of the best coaches I've ever had. He's dope.
Can we give us a plate?
Yeah. When I found out, I was like,
You're
bro,
dirty. You're dirty.
yeah, you're fired.
You're fired.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, so I got that lead from when I was still hiring and training cold callers, and after that came in, we're following up with him, and I couldn't get a hold of him, and I got a hold of him 2 days ago, and I couldn't get a hold of him because he was sleeping a lot during the day because he was really sick, so he was recovering. So when I finally got a hold of him, I brought up and he actually remembered his last conversation. So everything that I did with those cold callers, even though I didn't get a deal, it all paid off. I trained them so well that they left an impression that he told me he has talked to other people, and he remembered like almost word for word. And that cold caller had an accent. It wasn't overseas. He just had an accent naturally. But he remembered, which was, and he remembered the conversation. He remembered how good it went. So all that work that I put into training them was not for nothing. It had an effect. And it also gave me a very good start and very great building rapport when we started that conversation. So, and if you know anything about anything, first impressions are pretty important.
Your first impression is your last impression.
Ooh.
Ryan Serhant
He says that?
says that all
That's
the
a
time.
good one. Is he making a new book? Writing a new book?
Yeah, big money energy.
That's cool. I just saw his Instagram. Do you know what I don't know if you still look at his Instagram and stuff. Do you know what it's about yet? Just like a self-help book or what?
I think
About
so.
money?
I think so. Like his first book was more about like sales for
Yeah.
real estate agents, but now this was just like ultra celebrity status, so he could write a book on whatever the hell he wants.
This is true. Yeah. Like you've been
Bully
like
for him.
have like
I'm gonna start saying that.
dude, honestly, I'm gonna start saying that too.
Whenever
Oh,
someone like
bully
says like
for
they did
you.
something, I'm like, bully for you.
A bully for you, Mr. Shelby. I like when you say that. Well, if it's war you want, Mr. Shelby.
It's war you shall get. Well, if it's war you want, Mr. Shelby. Get out of the grave, Tinker. That's my favorite one to say.
Get that out of the grave, Tinker.
Mr. Churchill is not done with you. Bro,
I
should
feel
be
like
Irish.
I feel like you saw a line and you're like, oh, fuck, let me rewind that. And they say it and you're like, and you like recite it.
Practiced.
Yeah.
I just got a natural Irish accent.
I feel like when you're asleep, you go, get that to the grave, Tinker.
No, before I go to
Get
sleep,
that
I
to the
go,
grave,
get
Tinker.
into the bed, Tinker. It's just every natural born Irishman.
You see how it's late and you're like, oh, get that ass in the bed, Tinker.
Or when it's like, I wake up past my alarm, I'm like, get out of the bed, Tinker. Your stock
man.
trading is not done with you.
I have to rewatch it just to go back to remember those my favorite lines.
Every
You're
true
a fucking
Irish
child, mate.
just is born with a natural Irish accent.
One of my favorites is when he's like,
Who?
is when he's like,
That's your favorite character. You just want to shag Tom Hardy.
I do.
I do.
He's like, fuck. If this is hell, it looks a lot like Margate. That was funny.
I don't know why. Like when they're in the negotiation scene, he just goes, when like he realized like Tommy's not playing with him, he goes, "Fucking hell."
Yeah. He's like, fucking shit.
He's like, "Why do I keep doing this?"
Yeah. Or
Bully.
I love the part when Tom Hardy's character after Tommy, spoilers for Peaky Blinders, after Tommy shoots him and then he's like, oh, I was shot in the face by some cunt. You don't want to hear the story, it'll chill ya. It was funny. and then Tommy, it shows Tommy actually smiling. But
They need to make the next season already. And even though we didn't submit our pictures, we need to be background actors.
I know. I actually tried to do it, but the email, it was literally like the last minute of the night.
Really?
Like, so I didn't even have time to tell you. Like, it was literally like, I'm not joking, 12:59.
11:59.
11:59. And I was like, fuck, it's going to be too late, but I'm just going to send it anyway. And I sent it, and it said that the email was backed up, and like they couldn't get messages. So I was like, "Well, bully for you."
I'm bully free.
I'm like, "Let
And
me
they
send you an
also-
email, Tinker."
They probably meant like whatever their time zone was too, you know?
I didn't think about that. That's
'Cause
true.
They're from the UK.
Yeah.
They're from the UK, bruv. What you want me to do about the ting, bruv?
I sent it, and it showed me that I couldn't send it. And I was like, I almost had fucking everything.
I just saw it that I couldn't send. I sat back. I was like, fucking hell.
Yeah. Whatever. Well, when we're only going up, I guess when we like own the whole planet and we like own everybody,
We'll
and
just force them.
we'll
to
just
put
like
us-
force them to like act in front of us and stuff like that.
We'll
Yeah.
force the whole world to go back to 1909.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Easy.
We're just
I'll be Tommy.
yeah. I'll be Grace. All right, guys. So you guys just heard what my little breakthrough was. Now, which I'm most excited for, is to hear about Lucas's. So, if you could give them a background on what you were doing before you got into your little, I'm just kidding.
Little coke.
Your little gang, little Backstreet Razor
My little
gang,
pussy.
Backstreet Razor gang from the UK. Before you're into that, and then how I think how you even got introduced to that is so important through your network, because that's just a huge lesson for everybody to get in this right groups, and why they trusted you so much. I think is so important what you mentioned to me. Yeah, and then just how all that got started and how you went from 3 inches to 8. I think it's a very good story.
Well, I just bought enlargement pills on Amazon first, and then I sent like a picture to a subreddit on how they work, and then people just started hitting me up, and they're like, "Yo, you're packing now."
Yeah.
Like the before and after is crazy.
Yeah.
It's like your thing went from the heart to like the Rock.
Yeah.
I mean the heart, Kevin Hart to the Rock.
Yeah.
I
agree.
No.
Super hard. Heavy
Time
too.
for jokes around here, all right? You can't go up if you're making jokes all the time. So what Bailey's talking
Unless you're
about
us.
is I'm still doing my stock trading. I'm still on my stock trading vibe. Can you get in, bro? You're making production look bad. Correct him next time, dude. What the fuck are you doing? What do we pay you for?
Yeah, this actually looks way better. Sorry, guys.
So basically what he's talking about is, as you guys know, I was trading me stocks in the market, and I was doing a certain, like, within trading stocks, there's a bunch of different styles and a different strategies that you could do to trade stocks, and one that I was focusing on was like small cap momentum stocks. And basically what that means, I focus on stocks that were between $2 to $10 that had a low float. So like they're not like some crazy big thing like American Airlines. They have like billions of dollars of float. Like I would focus on under 100 million, so that when they are experiencing high volume, they're able to be very liquid, and you could get out with big position size quick. People are gonna be like, "What the fuck is this guy even talking about? Float, volume, liquidity."
No, that's what I want them to hear. Like that's why I even spoke about some details about real estate.
Yeah.
You never know who's gonna be able to relate to it, and
Mm-hmm.
different people are gonna follow and like you and me for different reasons.
Yeah. So that's what I was doing before, and
Yeah.
now I switched to trading futures, which is just like the same thing. I'm able to apply a lot of the same principles, a lot of the same strategies that I learned from doing the small cap into futures. But basically, futures is like, to summarize it, it's like basically you and a buyer and a seller agreeing to buy something at a future date, and you do this through like obviously contracts, right? So and you're able to trade stuff like NQ and ES, which are basically like minis of the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ. So trying to make it like understandable. So basically, if obviously you try to do like buy a share of that, it's going to cost tons and tons of money, but you're able to get these micros or minis and use contracts to like be able to buy and sell them. Sorry. What was I saying?
Contracts, buy and sell.
Yeah, so like basically, okay, so I got introduced to this through this group chat that I'm in. And in this group chat, they all trade futures, and they all use a specific platform / stock brokerage called Top Step and Tradeovate. And basically what they do is if you can prove to them that you could be a profitable trader, they'll give you capital to trade with. But to go through that, you have to go through like a combine, which is what I have been doing. And the people in my group chat, I'm still learning a lot about futures, and they're still helping me learn. I've only been doing the futures trading for about a week now, so obviously I still have a lot to learn. But so since they give you capital, I don't have to have. I think like some platforms it costs like $800 to trade one lot of a mini, and I think micros cost like almost like 17K. So basically, it's like it's forms of the Nasdaq or whatever you're trading. NQ is the Nasdaq, and basically whatever you're trading will be like it'll cost a lot more, but these micros and minis move a lot more volatile, if I'm correct on that. So basically, with this program, you're able to trade these versions of like the Nasdaq, the S&P 500, without risking your own money and being able to take bigger position size with less money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I've been doing this past week, and I've been doing pretty good. To pass step 1 of the combine, you need to trade within a specific time, and you need to hit a certain amount of profits. And I've posted on Instagram. If you guys follow me, you've seen it at Lucas Wavy. I've been texting them to Bailey. This past week, I got up to a little over $1,300 in profits in the combine.
Well, bully for
Bully
you,
for
motherfucker. That's what's up. And have you ever done that before?
What?
Those profits, those numbers?
Hell no.
That's huge.
My profits
Huge.
before would be like $50, $100 a day max. And that would be like if a stock jumped an entire like whole dollar and I had 100 shares.
Yeah.
So I made that $1,300. I ended up losing about 500-ish on Friday just because I ended up making a mistake, and that was blind trading, which you guys heard I've done before. But this kind of just solidifies the fact that I should really listen to myself and understand and just believe in myself more, because the days where I had $500 and $365 to be exact for the smaller day, I think the biggest day was like $547, and then the other $500 was like $509. Those days I was trading I was in a group chat with them, still like talking to them and stuff, but I was making my own calls. I was making finding my own entries, finding my own exits, and just listening to what they were saying and call outs and the zones that they were saying, if this breaks this, it'll do X, Y, and Z. But I wasn't really trading just based off of that. Mm-hmm. And when I did try to just trade what they were trading, I got burned. So I need to stop doing that. And I'm a beast, bro.
Bully for you. Yeah, dude, that's
so obviously like it's still only been a week. I'm feeling really good about it. Having two $500 days back to back with the almost $400 day right after that. After only doing that for, at the time, the first day I did it, I lost really small. It was only like $50. So I kind of like cut my losses and was like, all right, I'll just study for like this entire day until I got to go to work, and then I'll come home and I'll study again.
Yeah.
And then the next day, I woke up extra early. So instead of 5:30, I woke up at like at 4:30. I studied the notes from like all the videos of price action that I had taken notes on the day before. I studied those before trading, and then I went up. One of those days, I was up like $1,500 in total profits, but I gave back like $700. So if I wouldn't have given back, I would have been up over $1,400 in a single day, which is ridiculously insane.
Yeah.
So I was halfway towards completing the combine. Obviously, yesterday was Saturday. I couldn't trade. Today's Sunday. I can't trade. Monday is MLK Day, and I know that there's some people in step 2, and I think that are funded already, who can't trade, but I'm able to trade, so I'm going to see what I could do. I'm not going to try to force anything. I just want to see if, like, maybe chip away. I thought you said
you couldn't trade tomorrow.
Funded accounts. I'm not funded yet. I'm still in step 1 of the account. And step 2 can't.
Got it.
So.
Damn, dude. So you mentioned one of your lessons there was to trust yourself.
Yeah.
How did you get introduced to this opportunity in the first place?
I actually got introduced to trading futures way back in October but I hadn't even really started trading momentum for that long. I think I'd only been doing it for about 2 months. So I was like,
Uh huh.
I'll just see like what I can do, and by the end of the year, like if I feel like I'm not picking up on this, or if I'm losing too much, or if I'm not just getting this strategy, or if I can't time my exits good enough, then like I'll give out trading futures a try. And long story short, I was like basically just getting clapped every day trading momentum, or at least that's what it felt like.
Uh huh.
I started with like $500 in my account, built it up to like 2,500, and then lost it all back down to like $300. So in the new year, I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna try this future stuff. So I started hitting up people like in my group chat, and I DM'd one dude who's like making crazy money off of swing trading and futures trading. And I started talking to him for a bit, and he was like, yo, if you really want to try this, there's a premium side to like this group chat that you have to pay for. And he's like, yo, if you really want to try this and you really want to take it serious, like I'll cover the first month's cost for you, and I'll get you in. I'm a good friend like with the owner of this Discord group chat,
Mm.
and I'll get you in for free. So that I kind of like saw, and I kind of felt like it was a sign like, fuck, maybe I should be doing this. Because then also like the other guys in that group chat, they all like because they known me from the group chat. I was like one of the first like 30 members to the original group chat before they went premium.
Mm-hmm.
So like I knew all of them, and like I just went in there and like, yo, I said what's up guys, and like all of them started like DMing me and like, yo bro, if you need any help, like reach out. Like, and these people are making like
That's
hundreds
dope.
of thousands of dollars a day.
That's awesome.
Well, like one or two of them are making about 100K a day, and like I've been on like I've taken a couple
Women,
yeah.
souls.
No. So I they sent me like they just started hitting me up, and I was just like talking to them, and like I talk to them on like a day-to-day basis now. Like they're sending me like, all right, study this should help you, study that should help you. If you have any questions, reach out to me. If you want to schedule like a one-on-one call, let me know, reach out to me. And yeah, I've just been like I said, I've been doing this for a week, or Monday would be a week, so it's not even a week yet, and I'm still learning a lot every single day about futures in general. I've been able to trade and have the profits that I've had from the futures just because I've been trading strictly based off price action, and that's something you could really learn a lot from trading momentum. So that like the skills that I've learned from momentum, we're able to translate pretty seamlessly to futures. And Billy's checking his phone during recording.
I can't.
Mm-mm.
Just tell my dad's like, where'd you go? I'm gonna say
Nah,
I'm gonna say I joined Forex. So
texting you, bro.
Whoa! Oh shit! So I think what's super following. I think what's super important to note.
Be like, yo, Dad, I'm getting fucked up right now. Lucas,
Yeah.
we're just slamming.
He's gonna be like, "Well, belly for you, Bailey."
belly for ye.
What I think is super important to note that we're both in a better situation because you.
Ooh, I wanted to say something real
Say
quick
it.
too. I also feel like something that's helped me, even though it's like kind of unrelated to trading,
Fitness.
is that, kind of. Overall, I've been in like a routine the like entire week.
Me too.
Like I've woken up the exact same time. I've done my trading, my studying in the morning, and then I went to work. Then I came home from work and I studied again, and I got into a group chat and I back tested, and then I would go to sleep and just do the same thing the next day. And I feel like getting into that routine, like even just for that week, my mind, when I would wake up, it would be like in like trading mode, I guess you could say,
Yeah.
and like it was super focused. I just felt extra focused.
You're
Even
building
if
an
I didn't have, like,
identity.
any caffeine or anything, like I just felt focused. I felt awake. I felt alert. And then when I would go to work, I would be tired. And then I would come home, go to the gym, deadlift 405, and then I'd be like, I'm strong. And then I'd come home and study. And I feel like just honestly, just being in a routine kind of helped me because like before this new year, I would wake up at like 5:30 a good amount throughout the week, but it wasn't every day. And then like the days that I wouldn't, it would kind of throw me off the next days because like my circadian rhythm was just off. And like my body's like, what are you doing, bro? Why are you going to sleep at like 4 a.m. one day and then like going to sleep at 10 p.m. the next day?
Yeah.
And I
Dude,
just tell
that's
my body
huge.
that I'm just built completely different.
Yeah, that's huge. I was in a similar thing as well. I think not only does that help you build your identity, but if you're doing the same things every day, especially like the studying and the practicing and the trading, you're literally compounding success.
Yeah. What's really cool about like the back test is like I'll come home from work or I'll go to the gym right after work and I'll come home. And there's still people like in the live chat back testing strategies with each other talking about. Sometimes like we're in there just having fun. Like the other day, there's some kid in there who's named Chicky Nuggies. So we just had a battle of who's the most OG Chicky Nuggie in the group chat. But then there's days where it's like just super serious. Like, oh, we'll back test this strategy. We'll do this like X, Y, and Z. And like,
Yeah.
But like they're all really cool. It's not like a huge group
Are any
chat.
of those guys by here?
Yeah, actually one of them, I forgot what he had surgery for, but he had surgery in Pasadena.
Oh shit.
And one of them went to high school in the LA Unified School District.
Oh wow. I wonder what high school, like Garfield or maybe Garfield
I could ask
or
him.
Roosevelt or
I don't know. Is there any like nicer schools in the LA Unified School District?
not that I know of. I didn't know.
I'm just
not on
asking
my
because-
side.
Well, yeah, not on your side.
Maybe there is, but I'm just not familiar with
He
that.
might have been one from one of the nicer schools.
maybe.
One of the ones we know.
Yeah.
Because
That's
I'm
super dope,
just
though.
assuming that because like his dad owns a pretty successful gym out there. I forgot what it's called. It's not like LA Fitness or anything like that. It's like for those of you in the
It's
fitness,
Planet Fitness. I'm just kidding.
he owns LA Fitness and 24. It's like I'm assuming I haven't seen it, haven't been there. I'm assuming it's something like barbell, like stutters.
Well, ballet for you.
Assuming it's something like Barbell Brigade, which is
Spit it
basically
out,
just
Tinker.
it's like a small business of like basically people who love fitness. They're on YouTube also, Bart and Gio. And they just started a gym, and it's just like a one location, kind of like a warehouse type thing, and it's like for powerlifting. So I'm guessing that's kind of what it's like, but it's like a successful one. And he's not from Garfield.
That's dope though. That's super huge. So what do you think so this week's been big for you. What do you think that's done for you for the next coming weeks, coming days, for the future?
Well, I mean, if you know anything about what we do, we only go up here.
Yeah.
So 500 a day, more like 1,000.
More like a
The week after, more like 2K. The week
More
after,
like
more
2K.
like 4K a day.
Mm.
Honestly, if I could get to a point in the near future where I could average that $500 a day, I'd be happy with that. That's good money. I think someone did the math, and it's like 130K a year, which obviously is like not what I want to be making. Like
You
for
mean
my
to
life.
like be independent?
Yeah, to be independent, obviously 130K from trading is. And what's the craziest thing is that the day I had $549, or maybe it was a 509, I traded for less than an hour and then I walked away. So I
That's
probably could
crazy.
have been up more, but that 500 was my daily target. I hit it. I didn't want to give back any gains.
Is that one of your rules? I know you're supposed to have like
Yeah.
rules, like if you do this, then you're like, don't, like, just leave it, walk
Yeah.
away. That's one of your rules.
Mm-hmm. Like if I hit my daily goal, just leave it.
Yeah.
Shoo.
Yeah.
And then like another daily goal is like if I don't hit it, but I'm up, like let's say like I'm 450. If I lose 20% of that, then I'll like stop trading also.
Uh-huh.
Bully for me and my $500 day, Mr. Shelby.
That's huge, dude. Yeah. Do you feel like that gave you some proof of concept? Like you've never made that much and you did that. Like you
Mhm.
made those profits. Like proof of concept that you're
Hell yeah.
capable of doing that.
That like those first 3 days where like I made that on my own, that gave me confidence. But I was also kind of thinking like I don't know, like was it like beginner's luck or something? But then that day where I lost,
And then the next day you're like, oh, bullet for
Ooh,
me.
Another $500. But then that day where I lost the 500 trying to just blind trade and like go off other people's call outs and I got burned, that more so like solidified the fact that like
It's
I should
you
just
doing it.
trust myself and like
Yeah.
what I'm doing, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
I made that $500 day the first day. I was like, I'm about to quit my job, G.
I was thinking that too. I was like, dude, if he keeps doing it like this, then why
I'm
wouldn't
gonna
you?
quit for him.
Yeah. I'm going to live in his house. But yeah, the same exact thing for me. When I get a lead like this that I've already talked about, and I'm able to help him and literally go through the process with him, probably better than almost anybody else can. It tells me that, hey, yeah, you're right. You're a bad motherfucker on the phone. You're a bad motherfucker in a sit down. You
Bad
don't play.
motherfucker on the charts, G.
You don't play, homie. So I think that's super important. You could practice as much as finally the battery's at half. You could practice
Bro, but why did it die after 30 minutes the first time?
You mean?
Like last time we
Oh,
recorded.
I have no idea. That was so weird.
What a bot.
What a
Yeah.
fucking tanker.
What a fucking tanker.
Fucking wop. We're wops, guys, so be quiet.
See that guy getting out the Rolls Royce on going on to private jet? That's how I felt this week. Except I hopped into a Mazda 5 and went to work.
You mean when which one of our roles were you in?
The ghost one? The white one?
Oh. Fuck. Remind me to never ask you about Rolls Royces again.
Did we ever talk about that on the podcast?
I don't know. You could tell him though.
So for all my like car enthusiasts like
It's
myself,
because of the song though. You have to mention the song. Like
Which
that's why I
song?
thought it. There's a song. There's a hip hop song that says, I says it's like, do you want the ghost or do you want the phantom?
oh no, it's like
You can
like
hop in the
out of
ghost.
and hop up in the phantom, right?
Yeah, that
By
one.
Lil
That one.
Tecca.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lil Tecca has a song like "Hop About the Ghost" and "Hop Up in the Phantom." But Bailey, when I was talking to him, Bailey thought like the Ghost Rolls Royce was because it was white, and the Phantom was because it was black.
In all fairness,
Not like
if
the
that's not
different
the way it
car
is
models.
if that's not the way it is in real life, it should be that way because it makes sense. Ghosts are white, phantoms are black. Everybody knows this. Everybody knows this. It's common knowledge. Why don't you just make it easier on everybody else? This is common knowledge. Why don't they just do this? You're welcome, Rolls Royce.
So
Obviously,
what
they're
color,
listening.
What color is the Dawn and what color is the Wraith? The Wraith is gray.
Yeah.
The Dawn is like
Dawn is like, yeah. Dawn's like orange or blue. It's Dawn
Uh-huh.
color.
that was funny to me.
Yeah. So you're welcome, Rolls Royce. I'm making it easier on your customers.
You're welcome for the marketing.
Yeah. Crap. What was I gonna say?
My cheeks hurt.
I know that's
Both
funny.
sets of them.
Oh yeah. What I was gonna say was, the reason why we got to this point where we have this confidence right now, is because we put in the work, and the work that we put in was we had some preparation time for that work. Like we did the studying, we did the practicing, I did the role playing, you did the networking, you did the learning.
I also
Everything.
Sorry.
No, go.
I just
go
wanted
for
to
it.
say real quick, like I've been doing this for 6 months.
What a flex.
Yeah,
I don't mean to
6
flex,
months,
guys.
but
I'm
like that's I've been doing it 6 months seriously. Like there was times in my life where I would study this when I was like 16 and I couldn't even trade yet. Like I've been studying this for like if you added up all the time together, it'd be well over a year. I just wanted to say that. Like it's not like I jumped into this and then 6 months later I was able to like
Dude,
start making good profits.
that's huge. I mean, I always tell people like if they're not sure what they want to do, like I always say, and this isn't me. I don't know who has said this. I think Ed Milet said this. It's either go back to what were you curious about as a kid? Like when someone would bring up something, like you would be like curious, you'd listen more. Or like in your case, you would look it up on your own as a kid. What were your curiosities? Like look to those things if you're confused about what you should do. Because chances are that's an indicator of a passion you might have. That and I know for sure Ed Milet says this one. He says, actually, I think Daniel Waranya said, "What are your curiosities?" But Ed Milet says like, who are the people that you look up to, like as a kid, like some people that you like admire or you kind of idolize. Typically when you do that for somebody, it's because you see a part of yourself in them, and you just see it like so you see like a good part of yourself in them, and you see it so like you see it at its fullest potential within that person. For example, I remember the first time I seen Tony Robbins' Netflix documentary, I'm Not Your Guru, on Netflix.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
I have
You
seen
saw
that
it?
one. I watched it.
Wow.
I watched it in school
um
when I was supposed to be doing work.
yeah, I remember when I saw that, I was like, I would get chills. I was like, dude, this is awesome. And I was always that person that would give my friends good advice. Now that I'm older, I realize that's like a common thing, but I feel like I was actually good at it. Like I knew a little something.
But they would ask Bailey for advice and be like,
Well, bullet for you.
"So what you want to do?
Leave a
You want to
grenade
go in there and you want to leave a grenade
in the ass.
in their ass."
Yeah. I remember looking up to him when he would do that, or just like powerful people in general, like even in history class, and we would talk about like powerful people, like generals or people of influence, of
Like
positive
Hitler was pretty powerful.
motherfucker, of positive influence.
I'm just kidding.
Of positive influence, and I remember I would like feel a certain type of way about them. No way. They know.
I don't give a fuck about.
Yeah, if you guys don't know that's a joke, then you shouldn't even be listening to this shit. Yeah. So people that you admire, look back at your curiosities. Obviously, Lucas, you had a curiosity for this and that's also how we started talking in high school and in general. Well, basketball was that, but when we started talking, we realized we both had a curiosity about business.
I was like, this fool can't be getting more buckets than me.
Yeah, we were reading Robert Kiyosaki, but
that was that our junior year when Ernie gave you that book, or
I don't know, but
because I met Ernie through you. I lied.
Didn't you meet him in class?
I met him in my summer school class, but I got closer to him because I started talking to him about entrepreneurship.
When was that summer school class?
Oh man, I was in summer school every year, so
yeah. So I think that when I saw you reading the book, maybe that was sophomore year.
No, because that Rich Dad Poor Dad book Ernie gave to you, you read it, and then you lended it to me.
Because I never read.
Remember that?
The Rich Dad Poor Dad from him was the second book I read. I read The Business of the 21st Century first.
Oh, that's when he was trying to.
Yeah, that's the one that that was my gateway. I read The Business of the 21st Century by Robert Kiyosaki, and I was like, oh,
I need more.
Yeah, more.
I want to say that was going into junior year then.
But the summer of junior year. Oh, okay, going into junior year.
Yeah, going into junior because the first year I had freshman year. That's when we were in Spanish together.
No.
And you thought sleep was Mimi's.
No, you mean Miss Mendoza when we took a summer class together?
Yeah, that was freshman year.
No.
A freshman year going into sophomore.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because I remember then I had to take the Spanish class.
Oh, I think so, because I still had a shaved head and everything.
Did you? I don't. Still recording, so we'll just leave it on that too.
You don't mind mixing the three? Yeah. So, the point of the conversation, guys, was go back to your if you're stuck, if you don't know what to do, if you can't relate to any of our niches, our topics, or any of these, or you want something to be able to apply these lessons to, and you're just not sure what would be great for you in your life, go back to your curiosities. What were you curious about as a kid? What are you curious about now? Like when someone brings it up, or you catch yourself spending your own free time on it, which is a very common one that people talk about. Or think about people who you idolize. Like who do you catch yourself just randomly looking up, or when you hear something about them, you want to learn more, you want to see what that person's doing, or you want to see what their workouts are. Anything. That's a huge indicator for something inside yourself that you should absolutely explore. Anything else to add about the lessons, that the freaking bombs that we dropped on them today?
I just wanted to say this real quick, because when I was posting my profits the past few days, people have hit me up teach me,
Really?
I want to start trading, help me do this, help me
You're like, no, peasant.
I'm like, no, you gotta sign up through my link so I can get that affiliate commission.
That's true. Oh shit, it's about to die. Should I close it?
I just want to say that that's just not easy, and that you should follow me on all social medias at Lucas Wavy.
Oh yeah, he's been doing this for a long time. Follow me at I am Bailey Contreras. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube, the You versus You podcast, Instagram, the You versus You podcast. Yo, I am Bailey Contreras on everything on YouTube. Yo, follow our YouTube. Thank you everybody for supporting. Subscribe. Share with a friend. You versus you. That's the only battle there is.
Success is not easy. It's gonna take time.